Hillary Clinton goes all in on gun control legislation and declares herself historically transparent. This is Special Report. Good evening. Welcome to Washington. I'm Brett Baer. Hillary Clinton is going from defense to offense. In a flurry of national TV appearances and campaign stops, she's fighting to reverse negative poll numbers by attacking the gun lobby following the Oregon college shootings, by challenging Republicans in Congress, and by asserting her self-appointed place in the pantheon of the most accountable politicians in the country's history. Chief White House correspondent Ed Henry has tonight's top story.
Thank you all very much.
Trailing badly in New Hampshire, Hillary Clinton held 2 town hall meetings here today and declared nobody has ever been more transparent.
I have gone further than anybody that I'm aware of in American history.
In one of the town halls, an exclusive with NBC, Clinton also offered the dubious claim the vast majority of her emails had previously been on the State Department server, as she rejected anchor Savannah Guthrie's question about the House Benghazi Committee uncovering the use of her personal server.
Was that a public service?
No. No. Before this whole thing, was a big controversy, the State Department was looking for information. My emails were on the government account, more than 90% of them. Look, I've been around this political situation for a long time, but some things are just beyond the pale.
It's been a few days of Clinton using NBC to show she's more authentic, first on Saturday Night Live. Over the weekend, her chief rival, Democratic Socialist Senator Bernie Sanders, was having massive rallies in Massachusetts, including one in Boston with over 20,000 supporters.
They might not like you.
Oh, that really hurts my feelings. I have to tell you. People will know that I will fight for them, and they can count on me.
Her fight now is over gun control, jumping on last week's tragedy in Oregon to push for universal background checks and the right for victims to sue gun manufacturers, revealing the plan in New Hampshire, the state where she won the 2008 primary after shedding tears. Clinton today again got emotional as she introduced a mom who lost a 6-year-old son at the Sandy Hook tragedy.
And have tried to be the voices that we need to hear. And I want you to introduce yourself.
A flip-flop from her 2008 campaign. Shortly after then-Senator Barack Obama said people in small towns cling to guns or religion, Clinton suggested a one-size-fits-all approach to gun control would not work.
So for the federal government to be having any kind of, blanket rules that they're going to try to impose, I think doesn't make sense.
Now, Clinton's camp says she was worried back then about blanket restrictions that would prevent crime-infested cities from passing tougher measures than the feds. They say she's been consistently for gun control, which may help lock down these Democratic primaries, but get a lot more complicated in a general election. Brett?
Ed Henry with the Clinton campaign in a picturesque Windham, New Hampshire. Ed, thanks. Donald Trump continues to set the pace in the Republican presidential race. The latest poll from Iowa has Trump 5 points ahead of Dr. Ben Carson. Carly Fiorina is third there and Jeb Bush fourth. In New Hampshire, Trump has another 5-point edge, but this time he's leading a second-place Fiorina. Bush is third in the latest poll. Carson is tied for fourth with Marco Rubio. Tomorrow on Special Report, I'll sit down with Donald Trump to talk about the key issues and the state of the race. It's the first time I'll be asking him questions since the Fox debate in August. House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy's statement about Clinton and the Benghazi Committee and his inability to clean up the mess has led to the emergence of a new challenger to his prospective speakership. Chief Congressional Correspondent Mike Emanuel has the leadership battle that's brewing on the Hill.
Kevin McCarthy is a good man. He's a big reason why we have such a solid majority.
But House Oversight Chairman Jason Chaffetz is now challenging Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy to be the next Speaker of the House. The two are described as being very close friends, at least up until now.
The American public wants to see a change. They want a fresh start. There's a reason why we see this phenomenon across the country. And you don't just give an automatic promotion to the existing leadership team. That doesn't signal change.
McCarthy is very popular with the Republican conference and was believed to be getting close to the 218 votes he needed to become the next Speaker. Then there was this gaffe with Sean Hannity last week when he linked the creation of the Benghazi Select Committee to Hillary Clinton's poll numbers.
What are her numbers today? Her numbers are dropping.
Ammunition not only for Democrats and Hillary Clinton, but it left some Republicans questioning whether McCarthy was ready to become Speaker, especially after he tried to clean up the mess on special report 2 days later.
Now, I did not intend to imply in any way that work is political. Of course it is not.
Others seen as capable of uniting House Republicans, such as Ways and Means Chairman Paul Ryan and Benghazi Select Committee Chairman Trey Gowdy, don't want the job. And Chaffetz suggests McCarthy's support is eroding. Meanwhile, other House Republicans are expressing concern.
If Jason is saying he's running because these 40 people support him and no one else, well, then we're letting 40 people determine the fate of 247 people who were elected by the people of the United States. The great majority did not vote for that 40. They voted for the other 217.
Today, outgoing Speaker John Boehner confirmed the House GOP conference will vote this Thursday to choose a Speaker nominee. Chaffetz said he'd support McCarthy if he's the choice. The entire House will vote 3 weeks later, October 29th. But what if McCarthy can't get to 218?
There's some thought by having this vote in conference Thursday that may hold off a rebellion or not allow one to fully form. And that gives McCarthy 3 weeks to work the floor vote to make the sale to colleagues where many believe he excels. Brett?
Mike Emanuel on the Hill. Mike, thanks. So if you're following it, who do you like in the Speaker's race and why? Let me know at Facebook.com/BrettBaerSR or on Twitter @BrettBaer. You can use the hashtag Special Report. We may use your comment later in the show. New life tonight for the investigation into the Secret Service effort to discredit and embarrass Chairman Jason Chaffetz. The probe has reopened after Secret Service Director Joseph Clancy changed his story about when he first heard agents were looking into the congressman's background. That was in apparent retaliation for a committee hearing on agent misconduct. The U.S. and 11 other Pacific Rim countries have agreed to a highly controversial trade pact that is already facing criticism from some of President Obama's own supporters. Correspondent Kevin Corke has the story tonight from the White House.
White House officials today welcomed the historic agreement with optimism and confidence that if passed, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, known as TPP, will be a game changer for the world economy.
The President continues to be confident that if we can do more to level the playing field for American goods and services, that American businesses and American workers are going to win.
A win for global commerce. 8 years in the making, TPP encompasses 12 countries, representing 40% of the world's economy, an agreement spanning the globe from Canada to Chile to Japan to Australia. Proponents say the partnership will help America better compete abroad, sell more cars, more agri-products, create stronger worker and environmental protections, and wipe out 18,000 taxes on U.S. goods sold overseas. But the plan faces months of vigorous debate on Capitol Hill, 90 days of public scrutiny, reigniting a contentious battle that pits the president's own party against him and threatens to engulf the entire 2016 presidential race. While GOP candidates Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio have said they'd back the plan, frontrunner Donald Trump called it a disaster. Even more troubling for the president, the attacks from the political left. The leader in Iowa and New Hampshire polls, Bernie Sanders, said today he'd do all he could to defeat the agreement. Big labor, including the Teamsters, also oppose the partnership and have even withheld an expected endorsement of Hillary Clinton, who earlier backed the plan while serving as Secretary of State. But analysts say the rare Obama GOP leadership agreement on this deal reflects its broad economic appeal.
It's a good thing. There are income gains and export gains. And in those who suffer from the agreement, you know, it's important to have programs that help to alleviate some of the burden that they face.
On Tuesday, the president is expected to speak at the Department of Agriculture here in Washington, where once again he'll offer a full-throated support for the TPP, something that he says will benefit agri-producers all across the country. But that's a claim, by the way, tonight, Brett, that some tobacco growers are disputing.
Kevin Corke live on the North Lawn. Kevin, thank you. A big day on Wall Street today. The Dow surged 304. The S&P 500 was up 36. The Nasdaq gained 73.5 today. Up next, historic and deadly rains in the Carolinas. We'll go there live. First, here's what some of our Fox affiliates around the country are covering tonight. Fox 12 in Portland, Oregon, as the campus of Umpqua Community College reopens following Thursday's shootings that left 9 people dead. 5 other victims are still in the hospital. While the campus is open, classes will not resume for another week. Grief-sharing services are available there. Fox 10 in Phoenix with the death of a pilot flying an American Airlines jet out of Phoenix overnight. With the captain down, the first officer landed the plane in Syracuse. A replacement crew completed that trip to Boston. There's no word yet on what caused the pilot's death. And this is a live look at Boston from our affiliate Fox 25 as the sun sets there. The story there tonight, the derailment of an Amtrak train traveling from St. Albans, Vermont to Washington, D.C. It happened this morning about 20 miles southwest of Montpelier. The company says the train hit rocks on the tracks. At least 7 people were injured, 1 seriously. That's tonight's live look outside the Beltway from Special Report. We'll be right back.